Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
We are 24 hours away from the New Hampshire primary, and things are heating up. What the Democratic presidential candidates are saying ahead of tomorrow's vote.
And representatives from Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders' campaign are coming to Bakersfield. We'll tell you what you can expect on the California College Tour.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6 a.m. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
And I'm Mike Hart. Glad you're here. We're going to start things off with 23 ABC's chief meteorologist Elena Russ to get a look outside it. What's a lot happening.
A lot happening, yes. If you were watching the Oscars last night, they had the tents up. They were dealing with that heavy rain for the red carpet arrivals. It was all because of this storm, which slid backward. It has now anchored itself off the coast of San Diego. So it is tapping into ocean moisture, but by the time it gets to us, has to come over the Baja Peninsula, Mexico, Phoenix, Vegas, and back into Kern County. But it's enough to still have some scattered showers out there, and it's cold enough to turn it to snow. At the very highest elevations, 25 there at the top of Breckenridge. This darker blue, maybe some of those bigger flakes that are trying to stick, but I'm not calling for accumulation this morning. John Hughes in the Kern River Valley tells me that Walker Pass is open, and he didn't really encounter the showers until he dropped down into the desert. 39 at the Tehachapi Airport, so the higher elevations getting some of those flurries this morning, but you see how scattered in nature it is. You have a better chance of hitting rain down in the desert than you do of getting any snow sticking in the mountains. Those winds are coming in from the northeast, bringing this moisture through this morning, so it's about 20 to 30 miles an hour in the desert, and we do have a wind advisory in effect until 10 a.m. With that, then later this afternoon, clearing to sunny skies, 60s in the desert, the Kern River Valley, and here in the South Valley, 50s in Tehachapi and Fraser Park. More on that in a minute, but first we wanted to show you our traffic, which for the most part is doing okay. We're doing just fine. The passes are open, but because of the moisture coming through, we could have some slick and even possibly icy conditions at those highest mountain road elevations. The 58 itself, the Grapevine, both wide open. Let's come down to our one incident that Robert has been tracking for us from the CHP. At Stein Road earlier this morning, there was a vehicle fire, a trailer fire there near Bear Mountain Boulevard. He says that is in the clearing and cleaning up stages.
All right, topping our news, a man's in custody this morning after leading police and sheriff deputies on a pursuit just northwest of Bakersfield. Police say the man was taken into custody after he got out of the vehicle and ran into a canal. County Fire was called out to help pull him out of the canal. Police say the vehicle he was in was reported stolen. He led police and KCSO on that pursuit that ended in the area of Zerker Road and 7th Standard. That's where he was taken into custody.
Now to the race for the 2020 nomination. The New Hampshire primary is just one day away now. The latest polling shows the top two candidates from Iowa are also leading in the Granite State.
Senator Bernie Sanders and Mayor Pete Buttigieg now trying to maintain that momentum as they fight off increasing attacks from their opponents. ABC's Trevor Ault has more from the campaign trail.
With now less than 24 hours before New Hampshire casts its votes, Democratic presidential candidates aggressively campaigning down to the final moments. Mayor Pete Buttigieg has been surging since his strong showing in Iowa. He's pushing back against claims from former Vice President Joe Biden that he's trying to brand himself as the next Obama.
Well, he's right. I'm not Barack Obama, and neither is he. Neither is anyone running for president right now. And this isn't 2008, it's 2020.
With Buttigieg siphoning some of his supporters, Biden now sitting in fourth in the latest New Hampshire polls. This weekend, he continued to unleash more pointed attacks about Buttigieg's lack of experience.
What has he done? Who has he pulled together? Does he know any of the foreign leaders?
Senator Amy Klobuchar also riding some momentum from a strong debate showing, seeing some of her largest crowds yet.
Every step of the way, we have defied expectations.
But right now, the New Hampshire frontrunner is still Senator Bernie Sanders, who dominated in 2016 and is confident he can pull off a repeat.
If we win here in New Hampshire, and with your help, I think we can win. It'll make it easier for us to win in Nevada and in South Carolina and in California.
Another candidate to watch out for is Senator Elizabeth Warren, hoping to break out from the middle of the pack. And while her poll numbers have been slipping, she and Senator Klobuchar and former Vice President Joe Biden all say no matter what happens here in New Hampshire, their campaigns are built for the long haul. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
1 week later, the Iowa caucuses still don't have a clear winner. As of right now, the state's Democratic Party says former Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg is leading in the votes. But candidates have until 10 o'clock Pacific time this morning to call for a recanvass or a double check of the vote count. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who was neck and neck with Buttigieg, plans to ask for a partial one. Difficulties with the voting app apparently made it tough to get accurate results right away.
And on the eve of the New Hampshire Democratic primary, President Trump is making an appearance in the Granite State. The commander-in-chief will hold a Keep America Great campaign rally in Manchester, set for 7 p.m.
Speaking of the president, he is expected to unveil his budget for the fiscal year. The $4.8 trillion budget would increase military spending by 0.3% while cutting non-defense spending 5%. It's also promising a $3 billion increase for NASA in hopes of returning astronauts to the moon and onto Mars.
The Bernie Sanders 2020 campaign announced National Surrogates representing Sanders will be speaking at Cal State Bakersfield this week. The goal of the Bernie 2020 campaign is to inform students on issues like student loan debt. They'll hold an informational session at the Alumni Plaza at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. CSUB is one of several schools the Sanders campaign will visit during their California college tour this upcoming week. Organizers say Bernie Sanders will not be in attendance. The event is free and open to the public.
The deadline for college students to complete their free application for financial aid is less than a month away, and Bakersfield College wants to help you out. The FAFSA Extravaganza is Wednesday at BC's Panorama campus from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. If you're a BC student, you can join the Financial Aid Fest. They'll have food, prizes, music, and more. Students who complete an application at the event or ahead of time will receive a prize, we're told, and some free food. Experts will also be on hand to help complete the application. Once again, it is this Wednesday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
CSUB will continue their celebrations of Black History Month with a special lecture from a local law enforcement official. Former Bakersfield Police Chief Lyle Martin is set to take part in CSUB's Ethics in Leadership series. Martin, who now works in the Kern County District Attorney's Office, will speak Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the December Reading Room at CSUB. The speaker series focuses on local leaders and their stories, inspirations, and their advice for developing leaders. This event is free and it's open to the public.
Tables are still available for the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County's An Evening with Cindy McCain. Attendees will enjoy an evening of food and fine wine and hear from Mrs. McCain as she shares her thoughts on how the political environment is shaping our youth and what education challenges and successes will help children. It's happening this Wednesday at the Kern County Fairgrounds starting at 5:30 p.m. Tables may be purchased at bgclubsofkerncounty.org.
Well, the Downtown Business Association and the Downtown Bakersfield Development Corporation are all gearing up to host the State of Downtown Breakfast. The theme of this year's event is creating a clean, safe, and welcoming area for the heart of the city. The breakfast is set to take place from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. this Thursday at the Westchester Hall downtown. Tickets are $70 each. To purchase them, you can go to our website, turnto23.com.